All right, folks, welcome to Nino'sCorner.tv. I've got the always controversial Wendt with me. Going to be spitting some truth here. Ian, man, so much going on. You know, I've said over and over. You know, let's start with the Candace thing, the Candace Owens, Erika Kirk thing. You know, to me, it's a huge distraction from everything else that's going on in the deep state war. You're going to cover some of what you think it's distracting us from. I'll speak on what I believe it's also distracting us from. I think some big moves are coming, especially with Venezuela. But you're going to say you're going to show my audience some things here that slipped in right under our noses. Folks, not only that, get your Noble Gold. Before I start this, get the Noble Gold. As we wrap up 2025, one thing's clear. Uncertainty is temporary. It's the way of the world is right now. Waiting for things to go back to normal isn't the plan. It's a gamble. That's why Noble Gold Investments helps Americans protect what they built with real gold and silver that hold value when everything else feels uncertain, folks. So this holiday season, remember the best gift you can give your family isn't under the tree. It's peace of mind. And you can get that, at Noble Gold's NobleGoldInvestments.com. Noble Gold Investments, where you get a free wealth protection kit today. Get on it, folks. Noble Gold Investments. All right, Ian. So where do we even start here? So my whole thing with the Candace Owens and Erika Kirk, I think Candace Owens is over the target. You and I agree on that. I think there's a lot of wolves within the TPUSA. That's why they were able to engineer such an orchestrated high-level hit on Charlie Kirk, and it's sad to see what's happening to TPUSA, and I think they're using this now. You know, if there is a hand controlling all sides here, which we know there is, but I think they're fracturing MAGA right now, dividing MAGA, dividing the conservative movement. TPUSA camp Candace. I've always said since 5 years ago, certain agitators and disruptors will be activated for such a time as now when we start getting really close to things like what's happening in Venezuela, the sweeping executive order that's coming, the national emergency, the whole thing. All these things are starting to transpire right now. Now I'm starting to believe what I'm looking at here is this whole damn thing engineered and orchestrated with Candace and Erika? Are they wittingly or unwittingly a part of this? Ian, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. Always fun. I think it's funny.
And that's really a fucking ugly sweater.
Bro, get out of here. Dude, it's Bruce Willis says __yippee-ki-yay.
All right, yeah, it's cool.
Come on now. It's got helicopters and freaking...
I might be a little jealous, dude.
Come on now, bro. Come on now. Shout out Retro Rifle. No, first of all, I think you're the only one that ever introduced me as the always controversial, but I'll take it.
For my channel.
Yeah, I love it. So listen, you and I differ in the fact that I don't think it has anything to do with MAGA, to be honest. I think MAGA at this point is literally the same as I think MAGA is a psyop in itself. I think MAGA is the same as saying Team Candace, Team Erika. It's just another thing to divide all of us. And when you look at the Team Candace, Team Erika thing, I literally just made a video about this, and I think Candace actually reposted it. What I said was this: they're doing the same thing they always do. They are purposely making this entire thing about Candace Owens versus Erika Kirk. And that is not what this is about. This isn't about who Erika Kirk is, what she believes, how she's grieving, how she's mourning, whether she does X, Y, and Z. Like, it's not about Erika, and it's also not about Candace. It's not about where Candace has been. It's not about her friendships. It's not about her relationships. It's not about what she thinks or it's not about the individuals. But they are purposely making
it's turning into this. But
do you think it on purpose? Go look.
So it's not organic to you?
No. If you go, this is what I'll say. I'll say the same thing I said before. If you go on X or you go on social media right now, especially X, X is the battleground, right? If you go on X, you'll see a literal divide, but you'll also see the fact that almost simultaneously, all of the same MAGA influencers and pro-Zionist accounts are all posting the exact same talking points about Candace, okay? And it's all about how Candace is evil and Erika Kirk is a woman of God and blah,
she's
blah, blah,
mourning.
Yeah, dude. And it's all about the people. It's not about the problem or the situation in general.
So this is what I'm talking about. This is what's going to divide the movement right here. This is going to be the fracture.
Yes, but I think the movement that it's dividing is the movement of truth. It's not the movement of MAGA. It's not the Republican movement. It's not the conservative movement. It's the movement of truth and truly people who want America First policy.
So you believe Candace is the movement of truth?
Dude, for sure, 100%. I think
I had Alpha Warrior on and Joshua Reed. They kind of feel like she could be, Alpha Warrior was a detective. He's a federal law enforcement, and he says he sees right through Candace Owens. I don't believe that. I believe
I know Candace. I know Candace.
I think Candace Owens is asking.
She's the real deal.
I think she's asking the right questions.
She's not only the real deal, she is way over the target. And that's the reason why this massive smear campaign. I mean, if you can't see that this is a coordinated smear campaign that's gone on in the last
I can see it, but here's what
viewers, not you. I mean everybody else.
No, but here's what I'm saying is that we need, and I can't believe I'm still covering this, but it's just very juicy right now, folks. But the thing is that there's so many things developing, like Venezuela, like the national emergency that's coming, like the executive orders,
and it's connected.
Cannot be distracted. I'm sure you would agree with me on this. This is a dog chasing his tail. We're 100%. We're just going to continue going down this rabbit hole, and everyone's going to be finger pointing, and it's going to go nowhere. It's going to go flat.
It's wag the dog, bro. It's literally wag the dog. Look, this is what I was going to say. This whole situation is not about Erika versus Candace, team Erika, team Candace, even though you have all the Graham Allens and the David Harris Jr.'s and all these other freaking grifting shills out there saying that, right? They're making all these talking points about evil versus good. That's not what this is. It is truth versus the suppression of truth. It has nothing to do with the people. It just happens to be Candace that is searching for the truth. And it just happens to be that Erika is the perfect person to put in the way of it. What's really happening right now is you are seeing a battle for truth because look, whether you I think everybody at this point can agree, no matter who you believe or what you think, like the official narrative of the Charlie Kirk assassination is absolute garbage. It's dog.
Yeah, and by coincidence, and Tyler Robinson's trials now they're going to allow cameras, television, whatever, all of a sudden.
Yeah, and it's going to be streamed on the mainstream media. Of course. So now think about this, right? I think we all agree on that. And I think another thing we can agree on is that there's a lot of gaps as far as the truth of this whole case goes. And so what's happening is Candace Owens is trying to figure out what the truth is. She's pointing and spraying, and she's hoping that by doing that, someone is going to slip up and put the truth out there, right? Or give something away. And that's how you do this. That's what she's doing, and that's how
she's doing a lot. Look, and what the one thing I'm just kind of like, I don't really like is that she's doing a lot of finger pointing, and it's almost like she's becoming the little boy that cried wolf. It's getting a little too outrageous.
How else do you pull the wolves out of the woods if you're not pointing fingers at people?
She's saying the proof that she has, or just these emails that she's fact checked and this and that. It's got to be more than that. It's got to be a little bit more than that.
I'm not saying that everything she says ends up being totally the truth. It's not, because it's journalism. You don't get everything right. That's how that works. I mean, because there's such a magnifying glass on her right now, I think it's hard for people to see that. But if you actually go and watch a documentary about any kind of journalism, like where somebody's trying to figure out a murder or whatever, there's all kinds of freaking fingers being pointed, and there's people being dragged out of their house in cuffs, whether they're guilty or not, like right in front of their family and their friends at a birthday party. I mean, this is part of it. There's going to be people that are caught in the crossfire when you're trying to figure out the bigger picture. She doesn't have a choice but to go with everything she gets, put it out there, and see what response comes back.
So what I agree with here is that she's doing the heavy lifting. She's asking the questions Erika Kirk should be asking. And Erika Kirk says, I don't have time. But she has time to go on all these interviews, TV spots, fly across the country, yet she has no time to ask these questions. Oh, if we have something, we give it to the feds, and we follow whatever that comes to us, and we send it to the FBI, whatever. I don't believe any of that. There's
But
something
see,
very wrong with 𝗂𝗃a Kirk in my mind, and I think for my audience as well.
oh, for sure.
She's not passing the smell test. But
No.
Candace Owens, to me, is doing what 𝗂𝗃a Kirk should be doing.
So let me make 2 points. Number one, I agree with you with Eric Kirk. I've been saying this from the very beginning about 𝗂𝗃a. I've been saying, listen, either she's just like a super weird evangelical person and like she just is very weird and that's just how she is and that's how she talks and whatever, like, okay. Or there's something very off about her and everything she's doing is very, very performative. I don't know if you saw this, but they also just pulled up. I posted this on my story. I'm just gonna read it. Don't worry about pulling it up, but your viewers can go find it if they want. This is what I was talking about, David, when I said I might bring something up. But they literally just revealed that the Arizonian Israel Public Affairs Committee. This is back in 2019. Guess who was part of the committee? 3 people on that committee. Guess who it was? I'm not making it up.
I'm gonna guess
Kirk,
𝗂𝗃a. Yeah.
Yair Netanyahu, and Tyler Boyer.
When was this?
This was June 13th of 2019. You can literally go look it up. It's on there.
That's crazy.
Page.
That's insane.
So listen. So the first point is there's something off about 𝗂𝗃a, and I'm not the type of person that you can gaslight into saying, oh, but she's a woman of God and she's great. I don't care. Women and men of God have committed some of the most horrific crimes in history. So I'm not only going to scrutinize, I'm going to scrutinize even more, right? Because people use God as a guise for their evil over and over and over and over. That doesn't give them a pass. The second thing is this. You actually just did exactly what I'm talking about. Because again, this situation is not about Candace or 𝗂𝗃a. It's about, like, what you said was, this is what 𝗂𝗃a should be doing. No, this is what all of us should be doing. And my point is, they are creating this wag the dog team versus team thing so that we take our minds and our freaking eyes off of the prize, which is, it's not just that Candace is doing this and 𝗂𝗃a should be doing this, or Candace should be doing this, and it's that all of us should be doing what Candace is doing. We should be all trying to figure out the truth instead of letting them gaslight us into suppressing the truth and making up all these ridiculous, not only lies, but just like making up all these ridiculous stories revolving around this assassination.
Well, I think this whole situation is going to fall flat. They've got the narrative. They're going with it. The powers that be are so powerful. They're not going to be like, oh, wait a minute, Candace, you got me. She's right. Okay, we're guilty. That's not going to happen. This is going to go round and round and round and round, down the drain, down the rabbit hole, until we're all fighting with each other and we get nowhere. We should be paying attention to the real issues that matter. And listen, Charlie Kirk, rest his soul, man. Rest his soul. But this is going to be the same thing as Kennedy. We're not going to figure this out tomorrow, next week.
Yeah. Our kids and our grandkids. Yep. Our kids and our grandkids are going to be doing the exact same thing we're doing right now, which is trying to figure out what happened to JFK, where the Epstein files are. This is just another one of those things. And like, that's why I've been so outspoken about this, because what it all really comes back to is what is actually going on right now. And there's a lot of stuff going on right now, David. You have the administration, they literally just passed a bill yesterday. You can look this up and verify it. $900 billion more in defense budget and aid budget. $900 billion. You can guess where that's all going, okay? Because it's not America. The next thing is they seized a massive Venezuelan oil tanker, okay? And I don't know if anybody's noticed, but if you're watching the news, if you're watching any of the press releases or any of this stuff regarding Venezuela, I dare you to go clip those and compare them to what they were saying back in the days when we were going into Iraq. It's almost the exact same language. It's the exact same problems, the exact same threats. All of it is exactly the same.
Here it is right here. 900 billion NDAA. Yeah. What is it? What it was left out of major defense spending bill. This was just passed as this Candace Owens, 𝗂𝗃a Kirk. Everyone's paying attention to that. Here it is right here, folks.
And then let me give you some more. Okay. So the largest, most expansive propaganda campaign has been launched on America, specifically on American Christians. Thousands, and I mean thousands, of evangelical pastors, Christian pastors, just got back from a massive conference in Israel where what did they talk about? They didn't talk about how to preach about God better. They didn't talk about how to teach people about faith better. They talked about how they're going to, number one, support Israel, the state of Israel, better, and two, garner support and recruit others to do the same. Not just others, though, David, young pastors, young Christian men and women. That's what the whole point of the conference was. And the goal was 100,000 more just this year. And there's a massive, massive campaign happening right now to garner support for the Zionist cause. Why? Two things. We have almost completed everything. Greater Israel is almost done in the Middle East.
And that's Gaza right there.
Gaza already fell. Gaza's done. That they already started plans for Gaza Riviera.
Is this what you're talking about right here?
That's what I'm talking about. Yep. Gaza Riviera already is in plans. Trump Riviera, whatever you want to call it. Literally a smart city that is a luxury tourist destination built on hundreds of thousands of Palestinian bodies. That's what's about to happen in the Middle East. Not only that, Israel has continued to bomb Lebanon. Not only that, but their targets are now set for the rest of the Greater Israel Project. We are part of that project.
So as we are focusing on 𝗬𝗏𝗏, Kirk, and Candace, this is all transpiring right from under our noses. Do you think this was orchestrated?
100%. I think these people are.
Do you think Candace is part of it? Erica's part of it? Or are they just being used?
No. I think it's easy to say, oh, this was all planned. Like, oh, Erica, and it's easy to say Erica and Candace are in on it, and they're just like.
But they're getting all the press right now.
I know, but I don't believe that. I don't believe that they handpick people that diligently. Our government is so stupid, bro. Like the amount of inconsistency in our government is absolutely mind blowing. So to think that they could come up with something like that is what I think is more. When they see these things happen, they take advantage of it. Because what they can do is predict what's going to happen after, given social media trends and given all the more.
Well, hold on, Ian. The ones that run social media are the three-letter agencies. They know exactly what they're doing.
Well,
and that's what runs the government. That's the shadow government. Okay, so let's just cut it right there. That's who's running everything. And I got to be real careful where else this goes, but that's who's running everything.
We agree on that. But what I'm saying, I guess, is I think it's low-hanging fruit to say that Candace is an asset and Erica's an asset. I think they are just caught in the crossfire of this whole thing and it's being used. But the other thing you have to remember is the biggest piece that's happening behind the scenes that nobody is really paying attention to is the scariest AI surveillance system that's being built under our noses and being funded by the technocrats, which, by the way, are funded by the Trump campaign or by the Trump administration, which are funded by 𝗵𝗏𝗡, which are funded by Israel. All of that is happening right now, and it's being put in place.
And I agree with you on that. I am very concerned about that, especially the deal with Peter Thiel and Palantir. We are now in an era of quantum and AI, and I've said this many times on my program. Stuart Swerdlow talked about this. He says we're coming into an era of super states where there'll be 3 super states. China will have all of Asia. Russia will have Europe. America, this entire hemisphere, Canada, Mexico. I don't put it past that. I think that's very plausible. But we're coming into a time right now with quantum and AI, which means quantum is the speed of solutions and AI is the solution to everything. Now, I'm a big proponent, like, man, we could use safer streets, but look, it's problem, reaction, solution. They use the immigrant problem to create the massive problem. Everyone get them the hell out of here. We're sick of paying our taxes. We're sick of the crime. Then they bring in the solution. They already have the solution, but they get the reaction from the people already having the foregone solution and conclusion, which is, you know what? I'm all for AI surveillance. I'm all for it. You know what? I'm even for a mark on my hand. Whatever it is, this is where it's headed. I am a firm believer in that.
So there's even more to that. I'll say 2 things. The first thing is, I don't know if you saw this, but so when you talk about the migrant problem, right? I think everybody needs to understand that was not as much as we want to call it a Democrat problem or a liberal problem or whatever, guys, I'm sorry, that's a uniparty problem. And let me explain how. The neocons and the Republican candidates, presidents and presidencies, right? They are the ones that started these wars in the Middle East. They're the ones that are starting these wars around the world. The neocons are the ones that are actually starting these wars. Those wars destabilize these areas, take away the resources from these people, and destroy their countries. And so then what happens? It creates a migrant vacuum. All of the people from these countries don't want to live there anymore, so they leave. And then the left, the Democrats, open up the border wide open in the United States of America. Where do you think all those migrants are going to come? It's a uniparty. Did you see the video that just surfaced? If you can look this up, look up the video. Just type in Israel conference, 𝗷𝗶𝗱. See if you can find this. This is really important. This just happened. But they said all the quiet things out loud. If you can't find it, tell me and I'll send it to you.
Of the conference of the birds? What are you talking about? Israel.
All you got to type in is just type in Israel conference, 𝗷𝗶𝗱.
Yeah.
Did you find it?
Conference of the birds is what I'm pulling up here, but bird.
All right, hang on a second. I'll find it. I'll find it. I got it.
Okay. I'll let you share it.
Yeah. So basically,
I'll
what
put it
happened,
in there if you know.
Okay. Yeah, I'll throw it up in there. I just recently made a video about this because the guy says all the quiet things out loud. Ultimately, he basically admits the fact that this is all one big uniparty. There's no divide right and left when it comes to these elites. And at the end of the day, it's all for the bird. It's all for the bird, and the wings just flap.
Yeah, the right and left, right? The right wing, the left wing. It's the same bird. That's what you're getting at here. So
100%.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I think what Trump is doing is bringing in this golden age, right? It's I just had Jamie Walden on talking about this is complete deception. It's leading us down a road of what seems to me to be the beast system. And I've always said, man, yes, I'm emotionally invested in this. My whole channel has been about Trump, the deep state war, but I gotta watch all sides of the chessboard. That's my responsibility and to my audience. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're not MAGA." But like you said, this is not a cult, and I'm not. I'm a patriot, not a loyalist, right? Right?
Yeah,
you said that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and honestly, bro, you know this. We've talked about this many times. That's one of the reasons why I respect you, because you have all these people. One thing I was going to bring up was, I can't find the video, but one thing I was going to bring up was the fact that, I don't know if you guys also saw this, but recently they completely flipped the Pentagon press pool. They completely flipped it.
Yeah, I saw that.
All of the other news channels, and I get it. The mainstream media is a freaking cancer. I get it, okay? But they replaced them with staunch loyalists, staunch MAGA loyalists, and I'm talking about some of the most ridiculous.
The new right, they've come out and said they're the new right wing mainstream, basically the new alternative media,
and
right?
all they're doing is parroting points. All they're doing is parroting the talking points and the propaganda. So it's like it's no better than the left when we do that, right? You have people like freaking Laura Loomer, dude. Laura Loomer has a press pass to the Pentagon right now. That is insane. If anybody knows who Laura Loomer is, that's freaking wild. You have people like Cam Higbee. You have people. These people don't care about us. They don't care about the truth.
They're more the cheerleaders. They're not the ones turning over every stone. They're the MAGA cheerleaders. Basically, is what you're saying.
That's exactly what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying about this entire stream that we're doing right now.
Echo chambers.
Exactly. And ultimately what's happening right now, and again, that's why I respect you, because you're not just parroting the same stuff all the time, right? That's what
everyone knows. I'm a Trump supporter. I am. I have 𝗏𝗏 Saban on this and that, but I have you on. I have others on because guess what?
Yeah.
Just like a fighter in the boxing ring, I got to learn all sides here, man. I got to know every corner of that ring.
Charlie Kirk said it himself, dude. Ask all the questions. So, what I was basically saying from the beginning of this is that's exactly what's happening. At the end of the day, the suppression of truth is ultimately their goal. And that truth is what's really happening behind the scenes. What is the bigger picture? And the bigger picture is so much bigger than two chicks fighting online and everybody going team this or team that. Like, at the end of the day, that whole situation is about who killed Charlie, why did they kill him, and how did they kill him? Because all the answers that we've gotten so far are absolute bullcrap. And I think
here's a big thing right here. If people knew about this, it's happened under everyone's noses right here.
Yeah.
900 billion.
Like, dude, $1 billion. Like, seriously, I've gotten to the point where I feel like numbers are just fake. I mean, think about this. $1 billion, dude, even just $1 billion. It's gotten to the point where they use these numbers and they put this money out there because, I mean, how do you even fathom that? Most people aren't making $100 grand a year. No. Put that in perspective.
And everyone's paying into that.
So it's like, dude, it's a dog and pony show. And I'll tell you this too. You mentioned the AI earlier. I actually think, I don't know if I've talked to you about this, but I have my own theory about AI. AI, specifically AGI, right? AI right now, as we have it, is basically just a system that gathers information that already exists and then gives you the best answer based on that information. AGI is going to be the ability for that thing to actually think and come up with its own information and its own answers, okay? When AGI comes out, which isn't far away, they're saying, the experts are saying, 3 years. Some are even saying sooner than that. A lot of them are actually leaving the companies and being whistleblowers because they're like,
I mean, AGI is already out. It's just what they're going to give to the public.
Exactly. And so what I'm getting at is this. I actually think that it's going to be a much, much bigger disruptor than just creating, like what you said, zones and countries or whatever. Bro, I think AGI is going to create a whole different class system. And the reason why I say that is this. Right now, what makes something valuable? It's the scarcity of knowledge, right? The scarcity of knowledge is what creates value in the world right now. When you take away the scarcity of knowledge, what becomes valuable? How do you make money? How do you create value?
That's when they're going to give us the universal income. Both sides win.
It's not going to matter. The universal, I don't think it's going to be anything about money, bro. I think what's going to happen is they're already kind of doing this. They already kind of control the flow of information and the flow of knowledge. I think what's going to happen is they're going to create a tier system, not based on money anymore. It's going to be based on knowledge. What knowledge do you have access to? And that access determines where you are in the hierarchy and what you're able to do in life. That's what I think is coming. And that's scary.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Who's controlling it?
I agree with that. I mean, I said this the other day. I mean, just think we are coming into a time when I just said quantum and AI merging together. It's the speed of the solution and the solution to all problems. Think about having to go to a doctor. I mean, you're going to go to an AI station, a robot. Yeah. It's going to be your doctor, and it's going to be able to 3-dimensionally print your organs, whatever you need. Here's what's going to happen. I've been told if you can make it the next 20 years, you'll make it the next 100, maybe even 150 years. So let's think about that for a second. But here's the kicker. I'm going to bet you're going to need a chip. And it's going to come like disguised as like, oh, you want to go to the AI is going to cure all the diseases, inflammation, your health. We're going to live forever. You're not going to be, you don't want to do anything. That's totally fine. You're going to get an income anyway, but you're going to have this little device in your hand or your forehead or wherever. The mark of the beast. I think that's where this is going. I think it's all beautiful now. The golden age, Trump touts it, but we're headed into the beast system. It's just paid with gold. It's paid with gold. We're headed to the next 5 years may be amazing. The next 10 years may be amazing, but it's going to take a left turn.
I'm like genuinely curious because I've had this conversation with a few people, but honestly, not a lot. I haven't really had it a whole lot. And you're probably way more versed in this than I am, but like what golden age? And I'm genuinely not saying that like I'm trying to attack anybody or be like, I'm genuinely asking what about what's happening right now makes this the golden age?
Back dollar, AI, health. I mean, the whole thing, living for longer, looking younger, a golden age of humanity. That's what he's talking about. America's going to be the beacon of freedom. It's just.
So it's not so much about what's happening right now. It's not so much about like.
It's where we're headed. I think, well, I mean. And that's another reason he's getting rid of all the immigrants. I mean, getting the suckers from the system out of the country. It's going to be a completely different world. I've heard by even next year, things are going to change dramatically. I've had Swirlo on. But listen, I agree with you. I think we're headed into it's all beautiful and paved with gold, but I think it's ultimately
it's 1984. It's war is peace, and truth is like it's literally all those things. I mean, go look at all the slogans from 1984.
Look no further than this $900 billion NDAA that just got back. I mean, what you just brought out into the open to my audience, it's obvious,
bro. We literally just named the Department of Defense the Department of War. I mean, how much clearer does it need to get with the whole 1984 war is peace thing? Like, I get it. We're strengthening our military. That's great. But like, it's right in front of our faces, man. And look, I hope that people are right. I hope that there's some crazy plan behind the scenes. Believe me, I would, if it ends up being true and there's something going on and everybody's right and it's like a year from now or 2 years or whatever, like, bro, I'll be the first one to say, you know what? I was wrong. But I don't know, man. It's hard.
I think everything we've been I think all that's going to happen. I think there's going to be arrests. It's going to be all that's going to happen. And that's when I've always said this on my show. It swings very far left. It's going to go very far right.
Yeah.
It has to. And the arrest will happen and everyone will be cheering. Everyone will be celebrating. But where is it headed? Greater state of Israel. It's going to be controlled by Israel. And I just see this coming, man. But then again, people say, well, wait up, David, wait up. It says save Israel for what? Last? Well, maybe.
I mean,
maybe.
I don't know. I can't, for me, it's hard for me to see it any other way than just, I mean, I look in front of me and I see nothing but subversion. I see nothing but manipulation. I see a lot of propaganda. And, you know, the same people that are pushing that propaganda and creating that subversion, they're all the people that are clearly bought and paid for, not even just with money, but with their own souls, whether that's because they care more about the validation they get from social media and they want to build a massive platform and they're being propped up, or they get the press pass to the Pentagon or wherever else. Like, these people, in my opinion, don't have souls. And so just coming back full circle, when I look at this conflict between Candace and Owens-Erika and this whole thing about Turning Point and the assassination of Charlie Kirk, I simply look at who is it that's saying that we don't know the truth and going after the truth. And you have Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, you have Dave Smith, you have who else? You have Thomas Massey, you have Marjorie Taylor Greene. These people have been nothing but America First patriots since, I feel like, day one, when they really started speaking out, right? Name any other ones. I'm sure there's a whole list of them, right? But then you look over here and it's like, okay, these are the people that are telling me that all these people are crazy, that they're wrong, that they're dividing MAGA, and that we shouldn't be on this side. And you have David Harris Jr., Laura Loomer, freaking Graham Allen, Benny Johnson, who else? Aaron Wexler, Brandon Tatum, Cam Higby, you know, all of these people that are
on the TPUSA side.
Not even, yeah, no. This is the side that's like against everybody. Oh, yeah. On the TPUSA side, yes.
Right. Tim Cast, all of them, basically.
And on the Zionist side, the same side that's pro-Zionist is the same side that's on TPUSA side.
Would you assume they're all taking some kind of money or donations from that side?
Again, that's what I just said. Like, and I've said this so many times, but I think what we're watching right now is the modern day evolution of the politicians that we hate. I mean, back in the day, the politicians that are now, 60, 70-year-old corpses that we absolutely despise because they don't care about us and they just keep on passing these $900 billion spending bills, right? Those people started somewhere. They started in newspaper, they started in media, they started in whatever, right? That's changed. And now they start in social media. They start as a podcaster. The
podcasters are now the new Hollywood, right?
Exactly. So what I think you're watching is the exact same playbook that has been played for decades, but the difference is it's not newspaper journalists anymore. Now it's influencers. And these influencers, they don't actually understand what's going on. They're useful idiots. And most of them, I would actually say this to answer your question, I don't think most of them are paid. I think most of them care more about their like notoriety and the handshakes and the press passes and being in the room and being the guy or the girl. They care so much about that outward validation that they're easy to be used as just propaganda horse. Like the deep state and the elites leech off of these people because they know they can control them simply by saying, "Hey, we're going to get you in this party on Friday. Isn't that so cool?
Yeah,
You're
I
gonna
would.
get this credential." You know what I mean?
Yeah, I had Craig Lund on. In fact, it's premiering right now while we're recording this. But he talks about how podcasters are the new targets for these satanic clubs and rituals and insider handshake deals and backroom deals. You know, that it's the podcasters now. That's really the new Hollywood, and alternative media has been infiltrated and compromised. And so I've had a lot of people on my show where I've always felt like this one's not a good one, you know, and I think my audience knows when I'm like that. But you know, I definitely think you probably have too. And I think I use my spidey senses, and I think it's definitely, this is a whole new animal, dude. This is a whole new ball game.
You can spot it from a mile away, man. Like I feel like at this point, people have got, we have a discernment, and ultimately that's what it comes down to me. That's what it comes down to for me. Like at the end of the day, I know Candace and I like Candace, and I do believe that she's over the target because I know a lot more than most people know about her and what's going on and how she's finding all this information and everything. But like at the end of the day, for me, it's not about that. It's just about, I listen and I look and I pay attention to who are the people that really seem like they're being genuine. Like, yeah, they might get something wrong, right? There's I've gotten things wrong many, many, many times. But something that nobody can ever say about me is that when I'm speaking, I'm not being genuine and I'm somehow using like a script or something like I'm just being me. I'm just telling you how I feel, what I see, what I think, what I believe. And at the end of the day, if it's wrong, cool, I'll correct it later. But if it's right, and it has been right a lot of the time, it's because I'm using my discernment. I'm not relying on my emotional attachment to any one person or any one party or any one organization. I'm just relying on my ability to say, do I think that person's actually telling the truth, or do they seem like they have some kind of agenda?
And I agree with you, Ian. Ian, where do people find you?
My main Instagram is 𝗦𝗏𝗏𝗏, IWENDTSTER. Same with my X. And then my company is officialpatriotgear.com. And then my YouTube, where I do my podcasts and all my live streams, is the Ian Wendt Show.
You got to send me some more gear. It's Christmas. Come on.
Yeah, I'll get you some, bro. You want this? This is my favorite hat we've ever done, dude.
Yeah. Remember, I like the baseball kind of like curvy cap.
Yeah. You'll like this one. I'll send you one. Absolutely.
All right, Ian, thank you so much for joining me, folks. Stay with me just for a second, Ian, please. Stay with me.
All right.